We got a brand new 6-star champion inside the free-to-play account. I spent some energy down from my inbox trying to farm Minotaur Scrolls overnight. Woke up to notice didn't quite go as I planned. And we got a brand new intro for the channel. Let me know what you guys think about it, but don't be too harsh. All right, let's get into it. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are all doing great. Hope you're having a great weekend inside and outside of Raid. Hope your 2x pulls went well, and I also hope you guys are just having a good weekend in general. I just got back a few hours ago from something called Jurassic Quest with the family. Basically a ton of animatronic dinosaurs. My youngest is like 2.5 years old, so he had a blast. Got in the car, he was out the whole way home, took like a 2.5-hour nap. So you always know the kids had fun, the kids had a good time. When they get home and take like a 2.5-hour nap, it's always a good sign. But today, let's talk about who we 6-starred, guys. The free-to-play account, yesterday we pulled Rector Drath, we got Finchy, which I'm going to talk about these champions because to be honest, some of these champions, I didn't realize how good they actually were. And after that video, I went back and read them a little bit more and started building some up, and I realized, dang, these guys are actually a lot better than I thought. So I want to go over the champions we pulled, specifically Rector Drath, Finchy, and Thylesia, because these three are kind of my focus right now. But we did pull Doom Priest, can't leave her out. Absolutely amazing champion. Outside of the video, I did end up pulling, I think, 2 more Ancient Shards and got 2 epics from both of those. So we got Broodlord as well as Pharsalis. Pharsalis, I've seen him in the arena a little bit. I really haven't used him before. Broodlord, I don't think I'm going to invest in him. I actually seen somebody's comment recently saying that they regretted building this guy. So I'm going to hold off on him. Doesn't have anything I really need yet. Maybe down the road. But right now, the main ones I've been focusing on are Thylesia, Finchy, and Doom Priest, or not Doom Priest, Rector Drath specifically. Rector Drath was actually my second 6-star champion. My initial thought was that Finchy was going to be my next 6-star, so my third 6-star on the free-to-play account. But Rector Drath ended up taking the spot. I've been doing her masteries, but I want to talk about this, okay? Masteries. Let me go in here to Minotaur real quick and show you guys how this is working. Please be careful when you do Minotaur stage 15, especially if your champions aren't really geared to the point of being able to solo. So Shield Guard can solo with a fairly low gear requirement. However, if he's not at that gear requirement yet, you can jump in here and end up putting yourself in a pretty bad situation like I did. So what I did last night is I ended up staying up till basically had to be up at like 6:30 a.m., but I ended up staying up till 1 a.m. trying to get this to work, to do this on full auto and it to be safe. I did some of it. I was like, okay, I'm going to set RSL helper, let it run overnight, but I'm going to have it set that if I have a few losses that it's going to end it. Well, I thought it was going to go good, woke up, and I ended up losing like 4 or 5 matches, which each one 14 energy, 4 or 5 matches. That's a decent amount of energy. And then I ran it throughout the day a few different times, just run efficient resources on the RSL helper. So if you're on PC, RSL helper right here, absolutely amazing. But run effective resources, that's what I did overnight. Well, throughout the day today, while we were at Jurassic Quest, I did run effective resources. I came back to a few losses, but since then, I did get a few more upgrades on Shield Guard. I went ahead and worked on some of Rector Drath's masteries, so I'm hoping this is 100% consistent and I can finish Rector Drath's masteries out through here. So basically, I claimed my free energy from my monthly quest, the 200 arena, whatever it was. I got 200 energy from that. So I was like, hey, let's throw it to Minotaur. My energy refills that I've had stored up in my inbox, I actually use those as well. So I'm trying to stay away from using the gems. Right now, I'm not level 60. So every energy refill, let's do some math, some calculations, okay? Some calculator math right here real quick. So basically, if it takes about 2,000 energy per champion to get their masteries from 0 to fully maxed. Well, if you're at level 60, you got 130 energy per refill, right? So it's going to be about 15, let's just call it 16 energy refills. So 16 energy refills times 40, you're looking at about 640 gems. So obviously it's a really good deal if you are 100% consistent. If you're like me, I think my runs were like 90% consistent or so. So it's definitely not great, but I did claim free energy anyways. Right now, if it costs 2,000 energy, I believe I'm getting like 117 or 118 energy per refill. So let's just call it 117. It's going to be 17 energy refills, 17 times 40, looking about 680 gems if 100% consistent. So basically an extra refill or 2, not that much to be honest, but that is where the important part of being consistent comes in, because while Minotaur farming is super efficient as far as resources, time spent, it's definitely not efficient because Obviously, clicking a few times, getting the 800 masteries, that's the ideal way, right? Go ahead, get your masteries fully finished, 800 gems, you're done, it's over with. But doing this costs less gems overall. Obviously, I haven't spent any gems. You can't buy your masteries with energy. So I had the energy saved up. I figured, hey, let's go ahead and dump some of that into Minotaur, getting the masteries on Rector Draft, so then I can start going in other content and progressing pretty well. And it's going to be working pretty good. Hopefully now it's 100% consistent. Hopefully now it's going well. But alongside the masteries, we're also getting experience as well as silver. So the silver is not going to be a drastic, significant amount, but we are getting some silver, which is nice. And we are getting some experience, which when I started this, I don't know what level she was exactly. I want to say 50, maybe slightly below it. I don't know 100%. I think she's 57 right now or so. Somewhere, let's see. As soon as we finish this, we can see exactly where she's at. She is level 55. Okay, so I think she was about level 50. Let's go look at her masteries. I think we're missing a couple hundred. Obviously, the red scrolls take the longest. We are missing some. We got one on the bottom row, so we got like 390 total, so almost 400. I think you need like 900 on the bottom, so definitely takes quite a bit of scrolls to get them fully mastered, but this is definitely going to be worth it because I'm hoping to move into some further progression in Dragon. I was hoping to do this sooner. I was hoping to do it before the drop fever expired because I was hoping to get Finchy leveled up, do some poisons on the dragon, all that goes smoothly, but unfortunately was not able to do that. I did do a 7-minute stage 15. I used Apothecary. There's no poisoners on this team, so I had to go in here to Apothecary, and you guys may be able to use this on your account as well, but I had to put him in toxic gear, and he wasn't really landing the stuff that often. Honestly, if I went in here and got the Sniper Master, I believe it is right here, increases the chance of placing any debuffs from skills or artifacts. So it would have boosted the chance of placing poisons from the toxic set, which would probably help out a lot. But obviously I don't have his masteries done to that point. I will get them done eventually, but he was the champion who could fit in the poison set pretty easily. So I threw him in there. He helped me get through stage 15. I can't do stage 16 yet on full auto. I was gonna do it if I could do it on full auto. I was gonna run it maybe overnight or something because 4 to 6 star gear drops, and I'm not getting any of the mystery shards or the brews from stage 16. This is the last stage, or this is the first stage where that doesn't drop anymore. So that would have been really good. I would have been, hey, guaranteed pieces of gear. I definitely need some better gear for my other champions, but that's that. Let's go ahead and jump in here and talk about the champions that we got and the things I noticed about them, okay? So Finchy. This ability right here attacks one enemy 2 times. Okay, when it's fully booked, it's a 3-turn cooldown. 3-turn cooldown, and he places the poison for 3 turns as well. So he's essentially going to keep up the poisons the entire fight. I don't have a very good poisoner, so I think he's going to be very good for that. Also very good with Giant Slayer. His decreased speed isn't ideal for the clan boss, but since he has such low cooldowns and multi-hitters, I think he's going to be a solid champion to invest in because I can use him in spiders. A2, very good for spiders. All of his abilities are very good for Fire Knight, decreased speed, multi-hit, turn meter decrease. All of it's very solid there. I can use him in Dragon very, very easily because of the poison on this A3 ability as well. And he should be able to keep his health up pretty well because of Giant Slayer once we get him to that point. Thylesia. Okay, well, before we get into that, Finchy, I think does need books though. Buff and debuff chance is pretty nice on the A1, but more importantly, the A2, buff and debuff chance, cooldown reduction, and then the cooldown reduction on the A3 ability. So if I do invest in him, I'm going to book him. Unfortunately, I have 0 books because I fully booked Rector Draft. Kind of sadly, I was hoping to not have to fully book everything, but I did. It landed in the spots I didn't really want it to. If it would have went into the A3 and the A2, I would have waited until later on to actually book the A1. It is valuable, but I was hoping to get these 2 booked. But unfortunately, everything landed everywhere except for the last cooldown on the A2 ability, which I really want to finish, and I will finish that hopefully in the next day or 2. So Finchy will be booked. Quite a bit of books here as well. If the A3 gets booked, and I may actually even hold off because I'm mostly worried about his poisons because I really need a poisoner. I technically have Grave Chill Killer, but I don't really want to invest in her. She could be a good poisoner. I don't really want to invest in her because I have other options right now. If it comes to that point, I can. Finchy's going to have other uses, so I kind of want to focus on him. And he's going to be good on Dragon Stage 20 because Dragon Stage 20 is Magic Affinity. Dragon Stage 20 is where we're going to be farming a lot of that good gear once we get there. In Dragon Stage 16, Void, so it doesn't really matter. Now, Thylesia, let's talk about her. So I was very impressed by looking at her kit because honestly, I haven't looked at her that much. Her A1, very nice. Chance of applying debuff spread with enemies under Hex. Cool. A2, these are the cool abilities. So 1, I've heard that she can hit pretty hard. I believe she's a 3.5 multiplier on her A2 and her A3. So they're both pretty solid for nuking which she is now in my arena team, and I'll show you guys where she is in a second. You may be able to tell by her artifacts where she's at, but the A2 increases the duration, so it's an AoE ability, and it increases the duration of all debuffs on all enemies by 1 turn. So if I have an AoE decreased defense, which is coming from her, she can also extend the duration of that. She can also extend the duration of these the decreased speed. So she's going to be a very good part of my team and definitely going to fit into a lot of them. I will get her up to 5 stars, fully ascended, hopefully within the next few days. Then she's going to be my next focus, though, my next priority to 6-star. But her A3 ability attacks all enemies, places a 60% decreased defense for 2 turns. It's not a chance. It just places it. There's no changes here and just a cooldown reduction. So to be honest, she doesn't really need the books. So this would be nice to have on a 3-turn cooldown, of course, right? But why book it if you don't need to? So on this free-to-play account especially, I don't have many books. I have 0 books right now, so I'm definitely going to be using her a lot. I think she's a great champion, and I'm really looking forward to it. I was actually very impressed when I read her kit. She was better than I originally thought she was. Doom Priest doesn't need the books. We'll work on her later on. But Rector Drath, I figured, hey, let's go ahead and 6-star her. I'm thinking about going here to War Master to pick up the extra damage on Clan Boss to help myself move through the Clan Boss a little bit higher stage. A part of me is saying go the defense because it's going to help more in other dungeons. But since we don't have a good poisoner, I'm thinking this side's going to be the best side, because those War Master procs or those War Master hits whenever she does it is going to be a big help. I really wish I would have done some more Force Keep farming though, because I have a banner for her that I literally can't equip because she's not 6-star ascended. I am a few potions short. If I did this all the way, I'd get 1 greater potion from all of this. So super, super close, but not quite there. Free to play, so I'm not going to open up the dungeon. It cost, what, 200 gems? Nah, I can't do that. We do have a decent amount of gems right now, which is another reason why maybe I should have went ahead and bought her masters, because that probably would have been more efficient, to be honest, or waited until Shield Guard got a little bit better gear to do so. Oh, look at this. I did buy this from the clan shop today. This is a nice ring, especially on a Shield Guard who is dying pretty often. This is a very, very nice ring. Unfortunately, I was like, if this is going to be a crit damage necklace, I was going to be so happy. But unfortunately, it's flat defense. Well, fortunately and unfortunately, I mean, it's better than a flat attack. Flat or crit damage would have been better for Shield Guard especially, but this defense one can definitely be used on other champions. The Revenge accessories are absolutely amazing on the Clan Boss. You can see my current Clan Boss damage is definitely climbing a little bit. We did hard. I did 2 keys today on hard, got for 9.45. This is hard, right? No poisoner, okay? I should have used that apothecary in here in the poison set. I may try that later on, but 7.7 to 11, we got the night chest, so we're gonna have a chance at some pretty decent rewards. I'm hoping obviously to get something really good. If we get another ancient shard during the 2x event, that's really the best time to get them, right? We will do the other stuff, but moving up in Clan Boss damage, I'm gonna test it with apothecary in the toxic set. It could be actually a nice little damage boost. Don't underestimate the toxic set, especially if you don't have Kale. If you didn't pick Kale, if you didn't pick the best starter in the game, don't underestimate the toxic set. But those champions I pulled yesterday, I'm actually more excited than I originally thought to have them. The only downside is that they're all Force Affinity. So all of them being Force Affinity made this stage 15 even that much more of a pain, because Shatterbones, Rector Drath, I think I had another one. Shatterbones and Rector Drath were the 2 Force Affinities that I used. Took so much longer than it should have, but hey, we ended up getting there. Ended up not being a big problem. But that's just a little, I guess, overview of what's currently going on in the free-to-play. I decided to take Rector Drath as my next 6-star champion. I think she's going to be very solid. She's been doing very, very good surviving. She's in a Relentless set plus a Perception set to go ahead and land that A1 more often, the decreased attack. So nice against the Dragon, the Clan Boss, any bosses. Just in general, decreased attack is such an incredible ability. But Relentless is actually coming in pretty good use as well. Getting her to move through her cooldowns a little bit quicker. Some of these are on a little bit of a lengthy cooldown, so make sure they're available and ready whenever we need them, right? So I'm liking this set on her. Relentless plus Perception, high HP, good defense. Just so happened I had a defense % chest plate in Perception set. That's kind of why I went that. But either way, guys, hope you enjoy this video. Hope you guys have been having a great weekend. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one.